This conference will now be recorded.
All right, well, we want to welcome everybody to this webinar, and we're really glad to have Ben from Epic Fitness teaching us about trying to keep customers for life. And Ben, let's turn the time over to you, and you can tell people a little bit about yourself. And if people have questions, feel free to write it in the comments or to actually just unmute and ask those questions. All right, take it away,
Awesome.
Ben.
Thanks so much, Josie. I am Ben Fogel. I own Epic Fitness here in Millcreek City in Utah. And we just recently moved to a new location, so we've been really busy with all of that. But what we've really been working on and focusing on is keeping our customers happy, keeping our customers for life. And I've done a talk very similar to this in the past, and it was a big hit. So I wanted to make sure I shared this with business owners, people in the community that own businesses or run businesses or managers of businesses. So that's who this talk is for. And I'm super excited to share a lot of the things that we do in a fitness business and how it can relate to any business. So you don't have to be a fitness business owner to make this stuff work. It works for really any business. I've been doing this for almost 15 years, and we have an amazing team here of about 9 people, and I'm just so excited to share what we do on a daily basis. So I want to start with this. So gosh, what's the last year and a half looked like for a lot of us? It looked like this, right? It's looked crazy out there with this ever-changing climate with COVID, being open, being closed. Sometimes you just don't know what the next step is. And for a lot of us, including ourselves, we lost a lot of members, a lot of customers. And we were closed down. A lot of us were closed down because of forced mandates and closures. A lot of us dealt with a lot of hard times. And I wanted to highlight that first because there's a lot of things you can't control in this world, and one of those things is COVID and all the variants that are occurring and everything going on right now in this world. What I want to talk about today, though, is all the things we can control, all the controllables inside our business and inside, especially those first 100 days when you get and attract a new customer. So we're going to talk about that today, all the controllables. Can you guys all hear me okay? Josie, can I get the volume's okay? Just wanted to make sure I'm not talking to myself today. All right, I'm going to keep going because I know Josie's in another meeting. Michael, let me know if the volume's bad or if I need to do anything at all. Okay, you'll be my buddy for this. I want to start here. So this is 2 of my very first members in the gym, Matisse and Lane, and this is a good example of like over 16 years of trust. Matisse there, she was one of my very, very first clients when I first started out in 2007 as a coach, and she hasn't left us. It's been going on almost 15 years. She hasn't left us. Lane, he celebrated his 5-year anniversary recently. So honestly, this is more than 20 years of trust. And I wanted to show you this slide to you guys because there's a reason beyond just the training. There's a reason beyond just the fitness aspect and what we're giving them in that form of what they're investing in. There's a reason why they're staying with us. And we're going to go over all those reasons in today's talk and how to keep that client experience and customer experience an amazing one. First, though, I've got a question for you guys. Why do we lose customers? Usually there's 4 main reasons. Either the price, it's become too much of a price barrier, or price doesn't work for the client. There's an issue with value, right? They're no longer maybe valuing the services or the product that they purchased. Maybe they want to try something else. In the fitness industry, this happens a lot. People go in, they kind of jump from thing to thing, and they want to just try the different thing. And now we're going against like technology, like Pelotons and all the at-home stuff going on, the mirrors and all those things. So maybe they want to try something else at home, try something else, different gym, or they just don't have enough time now in their lives, right? That's a big one. Time is a big objection for anybody. But I do want to bring this up. The real true reason why your customers are leaving you, especially in those first 30 to 90 days, is because at some point, the client, the customer, the member feels neglected after the sale has been made. For some reason, at some point, they feel neglected. It could be the very, very smallest amount of neglect or a larger amount of neglect. And that's really what we want to focus on, is like, how do we make sure there's zero neglect of the client and they feel like they're taken care of the entire time? Then there's a cost of doing business and marketing, all these things. So I have a couple of questions to ask you guys. My first one is, how much time in your business do you spend on acquiring new customers? How much time do you spend on marketing and all those things, branding, to acquire a new customer? And then my other question is, how many people inside your business focus solely on sales and marketing in your business? And how much do you pay them? Is there somebody that's in charge of all your sales and marketing? And what do you pay that person? Because my next question is this: how much time, energy, and money do you spend to keep your current customers and keep them happy? We call this a retention budget at Epic Fitness, and every single business should have one of these. Every single business should have a retention budget. This is so important. We have in our monthly budget a set amount every month we get to spend on our current customers to keep them happy, whether or not it's a birthday, anniversary, giving wine, gifts, just flowers for a special occasion, whatever that is, that retention budget comes into play. What you can't forget about is people going out your back door, right? The people, our members, our customers are leaving us without us even knowing it sometimes, without even realizing why. Those are the people we want to hang on to, and hang on to them with a retention budget, and we do that. So what's your retention budget? That's what I want you to think about. How much can you invest, not in all the sales marketing on the front end, but more on the back end and keeping your customers happy? How much can you invest on that retention budget? I want to give a couple quick slides here on some facts and data, because I know a lot of people love this stuff, but honestly, it costs 5 times as much to attract a new customer than to keep an existing one. 5 times more it'll cost you to attract a new customer. So why not keep those existing ones happy, right? Also, existing customers, they're 50% more likely to try a new product inside your business and spend 31% more compared to a new customer. It's because of the trust you've built in over time into those people. The trust and the amount of, that's facilitating inside your business compared to a new customer. That's why you want to keep these people happy too. Also, this was a big one for me in the last couple of years. Increasing your customer retention by as little as 5% is going to increase your profits from between 25 to 95% inside your business. And I'm talking about your net profits here. So this came from Frederick Reichheld. The book's called The Loyalty Effect. I highly recommend this book, The Loyalty Effect. And I did this in 2019 as kind of I studied my business. I was like, our retention is this percentage. What we did is we increased our retention. We actually increased it by about 5.5%, 6%, and our net profits moved up to 90% higher than what they were the previous year. Amazing results. So that small of a thing and a change can make that huge of a difference on your business. I'm going to come back to this in a second. We call it our attrition levels in our business. But I want to make this clear. We are not a fitness facility. As much as we call ourselves, Epic Fitness, and we're a fitness brand, and that's the name of our gym, we are not a fitness facility. We are a relationship facility. This is so important to know and realize. We create and mold relationships among our members. And what's so important about this is when you think about COVID, right? COVID hit. If we didn't have a community, we would have been devastated. We had an amazing community. They come out to the park and did these workouts in the park at 6 a.m. Who doesn't work out in the park at 6 a.m.? We brought them shakes after their workouts. And what this does is it cultivates an amazing community, a community of people that love to come back, love to see their friends, and treat them like family. And so remember, your business, you're not in the business of whatever you're in the business in. You're in the business of creating and cultivating relationships. That's a huge one. I want to go over real quick the average churn in the fitness industry. And I want you to think about what your attrition rate is in your industries. Look it up because it's out there. So for us, the industry average, if you can believe it, is about 10%. So that means, let's just say a fitness studio like ours has 100 members at month 1, and month 2, we go down to 90 members. That's our 10% attrition or churn. We lost 10 people. What would happen if we did that over 12 months? Well, if we weren't getting in new clients, we'd be in the negative numbers, right? Goal for fitness businesses is under 6%, and the gold standard is 3% or less. Right now, we're just under 3%, which means for every 100 people that we have, we only lose 3 per month, and that's kind of the gold standard. If you're not currently tracking attrition levels, track that because that's so important. Track that number in your business and see what your churn level looks like because you want to slow down that churn and keep the attrition level as low as you possibly can, keeping your current people happy. Well, here's the talk, guys. I want to talk about the 8 phases of the customer journey. This is from a book by Joey Coleman called Never Lose a Customer Again. I am just taking the first 4 to 5 phases, and I want to talk about those because that's like that first 100-day period where you can really make your first impression count and really create and cultivate that community feel inside your business. So these 4 phases, the admit phase, affirm, and I put activate in there too, that's phases 2 and 3. Your acclimate phase and accomplish phase. These are the phases that you want to get right during those first 100 days. So let's start with this. Let's start with first, you want to realize that there are so many ways to communicate to your clients. And these are the 6 different ways you can communicate in each phase that we go over today. So when we go through these 4 or 5 phases, remember, you can pick, out of these 6, you can do all 6 of them, or you can just pick any, 2 or 3. So you can in-person communication, email, snail mail. Who does snail mail anymore? Phone calls, videos, texts with a phone, actually, all right, and gifts, giving gifts. I'm going to go over kind of what admit phase looks for us inside the gym. Think about how it could apply in your business as well. But in the admit phase, we have a strategy session. They come in for the first hour, they've admitted to us, they have a problem, and we have a solution for them. What do we do for them? Their first day, they get a lot of personal attention. We get these personalized signs made up for them. They come out, usually 9 times out of 10, they get out of their car and they take a photo of this sign because it's like the wow effect is really high, and they throw it up on their Instagram page. It's a big deal, right? They come inside our doors, another personalized sign. This, not only is this parking spot reserved for you, but this spot here on the table is reserved just for you. Huge, huge deal. So now what? They joined, right? It's exciting. We're excited as that. I think that's a cat, a feline there. Now what? Well, we give people a gift right away. They get a loot bag. They don't leave without getting swag, right? They get to ring what we call the achievement bell. We have a bell inside the gym for personal best. They ring that because they made a huge decision in becoming a member of ours. So what kind of thing can somebody do inside your business to really show that achievement of, making a commitment, right? They also sign what we call a I will board. So inside the gym, we have an I will board. They sign their top goal or their top I will, what they want to accomplish, and they sign off on that. So they actually have some skin in the game now, and it's inside our building. They write that down. They get a calendar, exactly what their next 30 days look like for training, for coaching, for meeting with us to make sure that we're on the same page, and they know exactly how we're going to hold their hand through the process. And they have what we call a rockstar session schedule. It's another in-person meeting with them after the first 3 weeks with us, just to make sure they're having an amazing experience and they are completely satisfied with the transaction. And we give them all the upgrades. We give them all the special sauce. So if you have something inside your business you can give them that's like the Rolls Royce kind of version of whatever you're offering, give them the Rolls Royce for however long. We give it for the first 30 days. And then after that, we ask them, would you like to stay with the Rolls Royce, or do you want to come back down to what you purchased? A lot of times they'll stay at the Rolls Royce because they really like that experience. So offer the upgrade and offer on the house. Also, these are some of the different ways you can communicate in that admit phase. You can do, we do a welcome text message. We do a personalized photo in an email. That's a big, big deal. It makes such a big, big impression. A thank you card signed by the entire team that first week, thanking them for taking action and controlling their, their life and changing their life. Remember this though, a sale is not finished until a customer receives their desired result. Now, in our business and fitness, this can become a little tricky, right? Because they sign on the dotted line on the first of the month, and they're expecting results here pretty quickly, but that's not going to happen for the next 60 to 90 to 120 days down the line, right? So remember that. You gotta achieve whatever result they're looking for, feeling for. They have to achieve that result. It can't just be like popping a can of Altoids and pop one little fresh mint in, and all of a sudden, bam, you've got a curiously fresh breath. That does not happen, right? It doesn't happen like that in fitness. It doesn't happen like that in most businesses or most transactions when you're trying to help a client achieve a desired result. Just remember that. So I want to do a quick thought exercise. We can unmute if you want to here. I'll just set a time for 60 seconds if this helps. I won't even go that long if people don't have questions or don't want to share anything. But basically, the thought exercise is this. What happens inside your business when a prospect actually takes action and decides to buy your product or service? What types of communication goes out right away? What types of things do you do to wow them? What I want to know, what do you guys do currently, or what can you do now that you maybe learned a couple things? Anybody have anything? And if not, we're going to move on.
Hey, Ben, I would say in the first 30 days, we're doing a lot of what you ask with or what you tell with our customer base, but we're not doing enough. And if someone joins I'm also in the fitness business for anyone else listening. If someone is choosing us for accountability, community, and safety, we have had a team teaching yesterday on reconnecting the why with their decision to be at the gym, making sure the coaches are aware of that, making sure they're, why are we doing these split squats? So when you go hiking in Peru next year, you have an easier time, right? Reconnecting the why. And I love it. I love the accountability of writing the goal down on the board. That's fantastic.
Have that board. It really ties in, and also it helps with like what we're going to talk about in a second here. What kind of will tend to happen if they don't know if they made the right decision, right? Buyer's remorse or post decision dissonance. We're going to talk about that here in a second. So that's awesome, Michael. Thanks for sharing. So what happens after they admit they have a problem, they sign up? We have to affirm and activate their experience, right? This is usually days, 1 through 30 sometimes. And you can give a money back guarantee to help with this. You can do a lot of different things, but one of the biggest things is this happens sometimes, right? People are like, oh my gosh, what I do? I just spent all this money and I'm not sure if I can commit to this thing, right? So how do we help avoid this from happening or help limit this as much as we can? Well, in their second day with us, they get another email, and it's personalized to them. And it's personalized to not exactly, but sometimes really closely fitting what their goals are at the gym. And this is Debbie, as an example. We give this to like people that want to lose body fat and have fat loss goals. Debbie has a really amazing story, and we share it. We share it with that new member and say, hey, you got me thinking about how similar you are to Debbie. Debbie's one of our members. She's been a member for 6 years, and this is some results that she saw. And we cannot wait to work with you next Monday. But I just want to shoot this out in a quick email to let you know this is Debbie's experience. That helps a ton with what's called post-decision dissonance, or just that ability for them to follow through on their decision and not cancel, right? Not stop their transaction. So days 2 through 14, here's what happens. They get a phone call right afterwards. They're letting them know that their program's getting written by a coach. They're getting taken care of, right? Also, they get calls and text messages before and after their session. So think about it, like if you're like a dentist or a dental, any type of business, like how can you make this more of a personalized approach to them? They're also getting an in-person gift on their very first day with us. They're going to get like an Epsom salt jar of Epsom salt and say, hey, soak in the benefits of your first workout. You may be a little sore tomorrow. Make sure you take this Epsom salt bath tonight. And that's just, think about the magic touches that go layered on top of layer on top of layer here. Some other things. These are all the different ways you can communicate. Mail. If you're not doing snail mail, do mail. People love getting cards in the mail. They post it on their social media. They absolutely love having that, as well as calls. So we make sure after their first week of training with us, they get a phone call from the manager or the owner to check in and answer any questions they may have, just to make sure they know and they've realized they made the right decision. They get a gift. They get a really cool gift 14 days in. Right now, I think we send it out the 3-week mark, 21 days in. We send them a water bottle, a card, and some other cool things. So they get a little gift from us in the snail mail, and they get that rockstar session like they talked about before, that in-person session to see how things are going and adjust as needed, but just to make sure they know we got their back. So real quick, I know Michael's still with me, which I love, Mike. But what happens like during this quiet period? It's usually days 1 through 14 or days 1 through 30. Sometimes days 1 through 7 only, between the customer making that purchase, that big purchase, and then that first major interaction with your company. Like, what are you guys doing in that kind of affirm and activate stages to really affirm they made the right choice? Is there anything you're doing, Michael, that's really kind of that you've changed or really stands out in your business?
That stands out. Not that comes to mind immediately, right? We're running a model similar to yours, so we're doing a lot of these things. Mostly I'm seeing how I could do better, I guess.
Cool.
Nothing
Awesome.
that stands, nothing I could add to the conversation.
Great. I want to just see if I can steal anything from you, man, but we're gonna keep going here. So next up, acclimate. So this is when people really get the ball rolling with their training. They usually get into for us at the fitness business, they're usually getting like their next phase of training. They've gone through maybe 4 weeks of their training with us. They're ready to kind of hit it hard and see some results. This is also a good time to look at the client and see what kind of results they've gotten and affirm with them that they've had some amazing results, and then they will start to also refer. We'll talk about that in a second. So this is a popular thing with a pizza tracker. I think this is Domino's Pizza, or is it, I can't remember, Pizza Hut? Domino's. So they have an app, right, where you know exactly where this pizza lives before it gets to your house. Not like I order pizza or anything, right? I'm a fitness guy. I don't do this, but this is an awesome idea, right? Because the customer knows exactly where things are in the process, all the way through from the cheese getting on the pizza going in the oven, and the next step going, like getting delivered to your house. You know exactly how many minutes it is. This is important. Clients want to know what's happening with with everything inside the gym. So you got to tell them, right? So this is staying in touch with your people. We call it Wednesday reach outs, shout outs and reach outs. So the really cool thing about Wednesday reach outs is like it's the middle of the week. In our business, we know things go awry if A, we don't see that person by Wednesday, they don't come in the gym by Wednesday, or B, that's the main issue, right? So we make sure we reach out to those people that we haven't seen Monday through Wednesday, and those are our reach outs. Our shout outs are amazing things that have happened the first 3 days of the week, and to highlight those things with members with a phone call, a text, we call them We Think You Rock Hard, that sort of thing. We do also these bi-weekly check-ins. These check-ins are super, super important, and these are these high touch points every other week with our members. Something specific that we noticed last time they were in the gym, or something specific that really highlights their progress in the gym. It could be, hey, you're due up for an in-body body composition scan coming up here soon, or it could be really anything in there. But the biggest thing I want you guys to get out of this whole slide here is staying in touch with your customers. Staying in touch, finding ways to stay in touch with your customers. We do little mini events every month. We invite people to certain things. Over COVID, it was a little different, right? Harder to do. Did a lot of Zoom events, that sort of thing. But tomorrow we have a grand reopening party. Josie knows about that. And those types of things are super, super valuable to the member because it makes them a part of your community. Handwritten cards. Here's the bonus here. If you can take new members, all the new people, and write them a handwritten card, inviting them to those little mini events, because they may not be totally engulfed into your new community yet. Write them a little handwritten card. You kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Invite them to the mini event. That makes it a big win for your business. Some other ideas for acclimating members, customers into your business as a new person. You can designate like a welcome committee within your community of amazing customers that can help hold the hand of new customers and show them the ropes. We have done this and it works amazingly well. When you introduce when we introduce like a new member to a current member and they're trained at the same time as that current member, they become like best friends, and they acclimate so well with those current people that have been with us for 5, 10, 15 years. It makes a big impression on that new person. Also, email, like a meet the team PDF informational packet, so all your new members know exactly who's in charge of what at the gym, who's kind of the, your lead, your manager, your owner, your front desk, whatever it is at your business. Make sure they know exactly who to call if they have membership questions, if they have any of those things. They know exactly who's in charge of those things. That's really important. Celebrate. We're going to talk about celebrating milestones here in a second. That's super important. So if we need to, we can go here, but like, think about this. Think about, how do you hold your customer's hand while they're getting to know you, while they're acclimating to your new business, while they're kind of getting used to your way of doing things. How are you getting those first kind of 30 to 100 days? How are you getting them acclimated? Anything new you're doing, Mike, at all? Feel like we're having a good conversation.
Sorry, I'm writing. Sorry, I had.
You're good, man.
I was writing stuff down. Is it just you and I?
I think, I don't know. Like Josie's got it recorded, but
Gotcha.
I'm not sure.
Well, I will. If everyone else is muted. So what we do in the first 100 days is a 21-day meeting. We've started doing that. This is a small nutrition consult, right? 20 minutes nutrition consult, again, to make sure that we're helping to ensure those results that they're looking for in the first 30 to 100 days. This is also a check-in to make sure that the program's headed off in the right direction. All those things that you just can't address in our coaching atmosphere, those personalized nutrition questions. We schedule at the 21-day meeting, and that can be via phone or Zoom. We've been doing phone, Zoom, or at the gym, whatever's convenient. That way, people like the fluidity, that hybrid kind of system these days. And we then make sure we take a look at the program. Do we need any tweaks? We schedule. We let them know, because we've started a lot of members very quickly, and some folks were falling through the cracks, didn't know they needed to turn programs in for new phases.
Yeah.
You're right. And just that, man, there's a real hole in our education, or our educating. Mr. Miyagi said no such thing as bad student, only bad teacher. So we say, this is where we walk them here. We hold their hand. This is where you'll put the program. Next Friday, when you finish up this program, you will put this here. When we see you in the gym on Tuesday again, you'll have a new program. So we started doing that, and that's been very helpful. We also will launch a ad kit. We don't generally advertise, but we're pushing to get an extra piece of it. It's something that's always been true of us. We have a 21-day love it or leave it policy. It's, what a member would have an initial investment. We do billing in arrears. If in the first 21 days they don't trust us, they don't love us, then we don't hold them to that first payment, and we part as friends. So just advertise.
What's it called again? The 21-day.
21-day love it or leave it.
Love it or leave it. I love it.
Love it or leave it.
I'm just going to move on to the end here, Mike, because of time. But those are awesome ideas, and we're going to have a lot of time at the end for questions and follow up. But I love the love it or leave it. That's so cool. Awesome. So our last phase that we're going to go through today, I know there's 8 phases, so you want to get all 8 phases, read the book. Joey Coleman does an excellent job in this book. That's why I took these first 4 and just kind of gave all the examples of like what we're doing. But that 4th phase is accomplish and adopt. This kind of happens between those first 30 to 100 days. And the really cool thing about this is when people start to see that desired result occur, right? They start to see the body comp changes in our business. They start to see the strength increases. They start to see all those things that they are working up towards in those 3 to 4 months. So really, really cool things start to happen here. And then let's go, sorry. So achieving the desired result. What kinds of things are we doing? Right now, we're doing this 100 workout challenge inside the gym. And the really cool thing about this is clients get to track their workouts. The goal is to get 4 workouts a week. And when they get their 100 workouts, they get a cool prize. Actually, every 25 workouts, they get a really cool prize. Also, we have this achievement bell. Every time they get a personal best, they ring the bell. And that makes for a really, really fun community, really, really fun engagement with our clients and everybody else surrounding them. Sorry, I'm going to come to this. This is one of our members, and I want to tell you her story really quick. Audrey. So she started with us, and she had this amazing transformation inside 6 weeks. If you look at the photos here, you're like, wow, she lost at least 25, 30 pounds, right? Lost a bunch of body fat. She kind of achieved that desired result inside those 6-8 week challenges. But we were missing something. It was the what's next question, right? So for her, what's next wasn't about losing body fat anymore. She wanted to find her inner athlete. She wanted to become an athlete, right? She became a Spartan athlete. She started winning these Spartan races and placing up high in these Spartan races. So we started training her for this. And what it turned into for her were personal best after personal best. And it turned from, I just want to feel better as a mom, be able to play with my kids, to I want to be able to compete on a national level in Spartan races. So that's a huge, huge accomplishment for someone like Audrey. And just knowing that over the course of 30, 60, 90 days, and usually beyond that, hey Mike, if you want to mute, I think you can be unmuted still. So if you go beyond those 90 days and you realize this client achieved that desired result they came in for, you got to ask them, what's next? What's next? If you have clients or customers for more than a year, more than 3 years, more than 5 years, you got to be a little bit creative in figuring out what's the next stepping stone for them in your business. So in person, honor the achievement as much as you can. Let other members know about that achievement they did. We have a member that's celebrating their 14-year anniversary with us next week. Do you know how many people in the gym are going to know about that? Everybody. Everyone's going to know about that because we're going to make it a huge deal. Handwritten cards, like we talked about, this is so important. Do you think Audrey got a card every time she won a Spartan race and what that meant to her as a community when we sent that to her? And then a congratulatory video from the whole team doing a selfie video saying, hey, Audrey, congratulations on that thing you did. That's so awesome. You got 4th place in that race, and celebrating those accomplishments. And gifts, we give a lot of gifts along the way, and that's a huge, huge deal as well. I wanted to share this quick little testimonial because this one kind of tore my heartstrings a little bit. And this is just a great example of our community, right? So this is a member of ours. She was feeling a little down, didn't quite know how to move forward with some of the goals she had. And what she realized when she talked with one of our coaches is that she realized her I will, her true reason for coming in. And so if you read the whole thing, she was terrified of deadlift. She always thought things would hurt her back. She'd feel like she had to be watched closely all the time just to make sure she wasn't doing things wrong or hurting herself. But what she realized is that she's made so much progress and she's done all these amazing things. And this has become a testimonial for members that are just like her. So making sure you reach out to those people and make it a big deal, and also congratulate them on their successes. That's such a big deal. This is a good thought exercise. We won't talk too much about it because I know we're getting close on time with things, Josie, but if you could describe in detail, or write this down, describe in detail really the goal that your customer seeks, no matter what your business is. Why are they there? Why are they paying you money for this product or service? And do you describe that goal the same way your customer does, right? If you can, the saying, I'm trying to think of the saying right now. I know Mike knows the saying, but if you can see what John Smith sees, you can sell him. I'm not saying that right now, so I won't use that example. But basically, if you can describe the goal the same way your customer describes their goal of being there inside your business, you're on the right track. You're on the right track, and you're on that right track for them accomplishing their goals. So I just want to finish with this, guys. Those 4 phases I know we went through really quickly. Again, Jody Coleman, the book that I would recommend is that book that he wrote. and it's an amazing book. It outlines the entire customer journey and things you can pull from it. I pulled a lot out today on those first 4 phases of the customer journey, and it's called Never Lose a Customer Again by Joey Coleman. And we just went over the first 100 days. Last thing I want to end with here is Sabrina. She's another one of our 10+ year members. She's actually been with us for 13 years now. She got, in the beginning, like I showed you, this really cool plaque. We called it a plaque, but it's actually a weight plate that we painted gold and put our members' names on it and how long they've been a member with us. She's been over 10 years, so she got the 10-pound plate. The really cool thing that she said, though, when she got this was like, I never thought in a million years I would get a gift like this from a gym that I go to. And we just wowed the heck out of her, right? And that's what kind of made her a member for life. So think about that client experience, customer experience, and how you can really make that an amazing experience for your customer, for your client. And that's what will make you different than any other business out there. Thank you guys so much. And I'll take any questions for like the next 3 to 5 minutes. Is that okay? Josie, are you around?
Yep, I'm here. So
Awesome. Was that okay? Time-wise?
it was great. Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
All
Will
right.
I get a recording link for this? That'd be amazing.
Yes. And do you want me to end the recording?
Yeah, I think so. And then I'd love to catch up with Mike. He's a good friend of mine.